Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Edward Joseph, and let's talk live. Why do you believe Kenneka Jenkins was drunk? Was she the only one drinking? All right, let's talk. Well, today, peoples, has been such an interesting day. I am here, I am live, and I am going to talk about some things, peoples. Peoples, why do you believe Kenneka Jenkins was drunk? Was she the only one drinking? You guys come on in. You guys come on in. You guys come on in, for there's so much to talk about, peoples. You guys come on in. Peoples, I'm here. I am back. I'm not going to waste no time. Let's get right into this. Peoples, why do you believe Kenneka Jenkins was drunk? Was she the only one drinking? Let's go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Edward Joseph, and let's talk live. Why do you believe Kenneka Jenkins was drunk? Was she the only one drinking? All right, let's talk. But today, peoples, has been such an interesting day. I'm here, I am live, and I am going to talk about some things, peoples. Peoples, why do you believe Kenneka Jenkins was drunk? Was she the only one drinking? Peoples, you guys come on in. You guys come on in. Peoples, you guys come on in. Because there's so much to talk about. People's this live was supposed to have went on several days ago, but I did not go on live because one, my system had ended up getting screwed. They end up severing my live. They end up severing my connection, the wires. And so I couldn't go live. That was one. And then two, I was tired. I was just tired of just having to go through all of this madness and stuff. But I'm recuperated to a certain degree. It's hot, but I'm here. And my daughter, she's going to go enjoy herself. And so I'm here. And so that's good. And then my son is out enjoying himself as well. And so, peoples, I am here. And I am live. And I am going to talk about that of what this had been entitled. Now, the other day would have been a good title for this, the video, but I named it something else. But either way, we can always go back and we can recap on some things, which what I always do. And so, people, so let me go ahead and get my bearings. Let me go ahead and get my Ethiopian coffee and things like that. And then we're going to dive into this thing on tonight, people. So we are going to dive on this thing. I thought that I left my phone at the grocery store because I remember setting it down on the cart. But I couldn't remember if I brought my other phone or not. That's just how tired I am. That's how tired I am, you know. Normally, I don't forget these things, but only because I'm tired, I literally forgot it, peoples. But thank God that I did not bring my phone, my second phone. I had it here, and it was sitting in the same place to where I had it and stuff. And then I was calling it, and I heard this faint sound go off and things. And I said, well, the phone is here. It's not there. So that's good. Now I just have to find it. And I kept calling it and calling and calling and turned off every sound in the house. And then finally, I looked up and there it was. It was sitting right there, right before my eyes. And I didn't see it, peoples. That's just how tired I am. But that's okay because at the end of the day, peoples, I continue to keep striving. I continue to keep striving. I continue to keep talking about this case and other cases, I continue to keep making headways in things that I have been doing for the past 5+ years anyway. And so that's what it is. Hello, Mother Dora One. How are you, Mel? It's a blessing to see you on today. I just now turned on the chat function, so let me go ahead and share my screen. Peoples, I am happy to report that we are literally here and we're talking and we're making headway. People are noticing our channels right and left. And people are coming and people are politicking with me. And people are sending emails and text messages and things. And I am loving it. Okay, you guys hold on for a moment. Let me see what this person says. Says, whoever set this video up grew up with 0 friends. How are you going to just use this to silently work split screen? I'm not putting this blank under a microscope just to see it. And so nobody said you ever had to watch it in the first place. One thing that I've always noticed, peoples, is that whenever you do something, people all the time, they want to come criticize and stuff, especially when you do good work. Now, I just put 2 videos together, and it was this young lady who was angry. It was this young lady who was angry about something. And I was like, okay. So they went on and they had literally written down some type of whatever and stuff in the comment section. And I just said, well, whatever. I ignored it. Was no biggie to me. Hello, Vicky Davis. How are you, ma'am? It's a blessing to see you on today. Peoples, we're going to do a little something different today. I'm going to do a little something different. That's just the way that I feel right now. So we're going to lighten the mood for a moment. Just waiting for it to cool down some because it's hot in here. I just turned on the air conditioner, so I needed to get it a little cool. I mean, it is blazing hot today. And I feel sorry for those people who live in Texas and all those other southern places and things because they said the temperature is like 130 degrees. And you know what I said? I say don't ever go to hell because hell is going to be hotter than that. So don't ever go to hell. So I'm sitting up here watching a porcupine get a little scrub down and all of the little coils and things on his back. Porcupine is just loving it because he's getting a little brush with a toothbrush and all of the little loose quills and things is falling off. So he's loving a little back scrub. His little leg is flopping. So here I'm gonna share that too. So let me share that to my group. So I'm going to share a couple little videos and stuff just to lighten the mood on today and things. Did I share it? Share it to my group. I'm going to share it now. Oh, that little fella is just loving this little back little scrub and things. I mean, you can't get that every day. Somebody goes and try to give you back massage and stuff, and then you get stuck. And so that's what it is. All right. It's a lot of little good things and stuff up on. And this guy is trying to saw off this ram's horn, and he sawed it off so it doesn't poke in his eye. All right, so that's good. Okay. All right, people. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and share a few things and stuff. Vicky Davis says, I'm not in the South, but it's not quite that bad here. Rain cooling it off. Okay, well, this is about a time to when I would love the rain because, man, I tell you, it is hot. I ain't gonna say it's hot as hell because hell is hot, a lot hotter than this, but it is hot. Tell you the truth, that's the thing. It's hot. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Let me go ahead and call up a few videos and stuff just to lighten up the day and stuff. And then we're going to dive into this thing. I just feel, a little different tone for right now and whatnot. So let's take a look at this and see. So let's go on over to YouTube. Not YouTube, Facebook. So you guys give me a moment. Let me call up Facebook real quick. Call up Facebook. There we are. We're in the chat room. Okay, let me call up that. And then let me pause that and let me go ahead and share my screen. So let's look at the little porcupine, get a little back rub. It's like enemy. All of these other lies. Okay, turn that one off. That one is not on. Turn that one off. And then that's it. And then that's it. That's it. That's it. Bring that over. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at Mr. Porcupine. Mr. Porcupine is getting his spine rubbed. Let's go.
Sabe? Tá? Anywhere else? Here? Yep. Cool little chicken leg.
Oh, that's so sweet. The porcupine is getting a back rub. All right, let's see one more video, peoples. I think I uploaded another video, if I'm not mistaken. I think I did one more. Thanks. Let's see. Okay. These are the ones that I did. No, I didn't upload. Okay, let me send the other video. Oh, no. That's right. I wanted to show this video. Not that one. It was this one. You know, they skin people alive. Y'all didn't know that, right? That's a part of the satanic rituals that they do. Skin people alive. I don't think that happened in Kenneka's case, but, you know, they skin people alive. Okay. So I'm looking for the thing that I wanted to share. Let me see here. Okay. Let me see here. Okay, let me see here, people's. All right, here. Let me change that because I know that's kind of crazy to be looking at. It was once something that I wanted to show you guys, and I can't remember what it was. So let me see if I can find it real quick. Then I'm gonna share it. Yeah, that wasn't the one, but oh well, okay. I don't know where I did with it, but anyway, let's go back to YouTube and see. Ha 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 ha. All right, so let's go ahead and refresh the screen here. And let's see, we're doing good, peoples. We are doing good. Let me go to my channel. Let's see if anybody chimed out. And nobody chimed out. All right. Let's go to my other channel. Let's go to that channel. And see if anybody chimed out. Okay, Little Bo Peep had said she went missing. Let me go and get my magnifier here. Get my magnifier, open that up. There we go. Now, Little Bo Peep had said she went missing pretty much as soon as she got there. Some say they were at a party on the west side before they got there. Okay. And my response to that is whether there was a party on the west side, east side, north side, or south side of Chicago, my question is what difference does it make? What difference does it make if they had parties on the west side, east side, north side, and south side of Chicago? Did it really make a difference? I don't think it really made a difference, people, because of the simple fact that Kenneka, even if she was at the party on the west side and all of these other sides and stuff, the bottom line is, peoples, is that Kenneka Jenkins, she was at the Crown Plaza Hotel. Period. Unequivocal and undeniable proof. So it doesn't matter what a lot of these YouTubers' narratives may be. They may feel whatever type of way, but it really doesn't matter to me because at the end of the day, peoples, Kenneka was at the Crown Plaza Hotel. No matter what their narrative is, how they say it, what they want to say, how passionate they are and stuff, it still doesn't negate the fact that Kenneka Jenkins was at the Crown Plaza Hotel, peoples. She was there. And she was there alive and not dead as a lot of these other YouTubers proclaim. Now, see, that's what's so crazy about it is that they want to say that Kenneka Jenkins was dead, and then on the other hand, turn around and talk about the establishment and about this girl walking the halls of that establishment. You cannot have it both ways, peoples. Either she's dead or she's alive. But if she's dead, peoples, well then how in God's name can you sit here and say that Kenneka Jenkins was alive when you stated she was dead? And then you go and talk about this girl walking the halls of that establishment when you clearly stated that she was dead before she was ever brought into the Crown Plaza. That don't make no sense to me. And many of you YouTubers have been saying that for quite some time. Now, I have been very nice and not called you out to the carpet for the nefarious madness that you've been speaking, but I am. I'm going to get around to it. Trust me, I am. Because this stuff, it really doesn't make no sense whatsoever. It doesn't make no sense. Kenneka Jenkins would come a long way. Kenneka Jenkins would come a long way. Kenneka Jenkins would come a long way. All right, I'm going to delete that. And then we're going to the fried line. Let me go ahead and download that. And download that. That. And that. So let me delete that, and that. And then let's see here. Okay. All right, so MPEG 4 I've already got, so I don't need to do that again. And now, what people need to understand about this case. So let me see what people need to understand about this case. So where's that one at? What people need to understand about talking about this case. I just need to download the audio to that. All right. So that's cool. Okay, so I got everything and stuff. And all right, so I'm going to go ahead and finish downloading the rest of these, getting them out the way, but not now. Just have to try to get some of these big ones out the way. 5 clips and 5 years later, and you're stuck on stupid. Okay, I'm gonna download that real quick. Whoa, peoples! All right. Hello, Randall Robinson. How are you, my friend? It's a blessing to see you on today. All right, peoples, let me share my screen. All right. Randall said you and Trey Game on the same page on that. His mission is to try to put together what happened in the hotel. Well, you guys hold on for a moment. All right, people. So I just wanted to come back and interject for one moment. Um, this is an old live that I had did back in the day, and I'm playing back my old lives and stuff because it was some juicies that was going on and things. We just had it going on. I mean, we just had it going on. Now, for the book and for the record, everything that I'm saying about the Kenneka Jenkins case is my theory based upon my findings and based upon my research. I'm not here to try to persuade anybody to believe me. I'm not. I'm not here to try to persuade nobody to believe me. So no need to get all upset, worked up, and bent out of shape and things of that nature, because it's my opinion and it's my belief based upon all of the information that I have found throughout the years. And I pretty much substantiated my claim. Now, many of you may have a difference in opinion, but that's okay. It's good. So this is an old live. This is my opinion. This is my thoughts. This is my views based upon that of what we have seen, and based upon my research, and based upon my conversations with many. Now, I think I have proven my case many times over, but it's no need for me to sit here and butter up and boast and brag and things of that nature. I'm just here just to give you my opinion as to what I believe. That's it. That's all. So whatever your opinion is and things, that's fine. We don't need to argue. We don't need to fuss, fight, and feud. We did all of that way back in the day. We're not going to do that today and things, So you believe what you believe, and I'm going to believe what I believe. And I'm going to continue to keep saying and doing that of what I believe. Is that all right, peoples? All right. So y'all sit back, relax. I'm sitting back. I'm enjoying the live and things. And I'm cooking for me and my son. But I'm enjoying. And so every so often, I'll probably stop and I'll probably just kind of like interact for a moment. But you guys are here. Y'all chalk it up in the chat. And then y'all hit that like button, and then y'all share this live with everyone and things. Greatly appreciate all of you guys for coming in. I mean, you guys have just absolutely been wonderful, phenomenal for these past couple of weeks and things. This is just absolutely beautiful, and I greatly appreciate each and every one of you guys for chiming in and doing what you do and stuff. Stay justice for Kenneka, because I will always be justice for Kenneka no matter what. Always be here. I will always talk about this case. Always. So you guys sit back, relax, and enjoy. And get you some Ethiopian coffee and go and do what you do. Is that all right, peoples? So greatly appreciate each and every one of you guys for coming in and stuff. Now I may not be able to give a shout out to everybody who walks in and things. So if I don't come on a live and shout you out, then I'll text in the chat and shout you out and things. But I want to kind of sit back and I want the people to gotta kind of get a sense as to what we talked about back in the day. This is one of the reasons why I'm playing back the lives from back in the day because, like I say, my lives was juicy, and a lot of people haven't seen it. A lot of people have, and you have, you'll see it again and things, but a lot of people haven't. And so this is for all of the people who haven't seen the live and things because I'm getting new people daily, which is pretty good. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it and I'm enjoying you. And again, people, I thank each and every one of you guys for coming on in and chiming in. All right, so let's get back to the live, peoples. Be blessed. I quite don't know how long I've been gone. All right, people, so I'm back. Okay, I'm back. I got to make me a sandwich real quick. So let me do this. I'm going to go and recap on the little live just for about 10 minutes. And then I'll be back. And we're going to talk about some things. So let me do this. Let me flow through this real quick here. All right. Let me go back. Hi. Let me see. What can I go back and play? Yeah, let's take a look at this, y'all. Let's take a look at this real quick here. I think you guys can see it. So let me share my screen. Let's go back here. Let's take a look at this.
You over here, oh, well, this just doesn't sit well with me. What the fuck are you talking about? The evidence is right here. It's right here. The evidence is in your goddamn face, people. Fucking wake up.
And see, that's what I say to your response, Rendell. Me and Trey Gang are not on the same page as I see it. Now, you may see things a little different, but I don't see it that way. Because, see, Trey Gang is on some fuck shit. And I'm not on the fuck shit. You know, Trey Gang has been sitting here and talking about this case for over 5+ years and been playing tiddlywinks with this case. I don't play tiddlywinks, you know, and I don't come with all of the hoorah and all of that crazy madness like he be doing. Saying that people reached out to him like Franz Cave sent him a letter so he can talk about this case. That's bullshit. And then to come to find out that his narrative is all wrong. Trey Gang had took a piece of my narrative and ran with it. Because it's not until I came on YouTube is when he started to share the things that I have been trying to convey to the people for the longest time. And see, I am not here and I don't talk about the establishment like they had everything to do with it. They're culpable, but only to a certain degree. But they're culpable to the people, the other people who play Kenneka, not Kenneka Jenkins herself. Now, that's my take up on it. Although Trey Gay, 54 Keys, Zillionaire, has points that, I say, hey, I can go with that. But for the most part, I can't. Because it's a path that they have chosen to take that is hilarious and nefarious to me. And I never have taken down that path. And this is what makes me stand out amongst a lot of the other YouTubers and things. And so be careful how you compare us, because I don't compare myself to Trey Gay. And I'm not subservient to Trey Gay. I know Little Bo Peep has tried to insert little things as well and say that, we both got the same narrative and stuff. Well, to you guys' perspective, that may be, but to my perspective, it's not. And I don't want to be associated with Trey Gay. I tried to come onto his panel to speak with him, and he acted hilarious and nefarious because he knew I was going to jump on his shit about his narrative and things. So we two totally different people with two totally different narratives as far as I see it. Because I don't play around when it comes down to this case. He does. All right, so let me see. But, I'm not here to try to vilify anybody's perception or anything, but I just don't see it. Let's see. What do people need to understand when talking about this case? What do people need to understand talking about this case? All right, so I'm going to delete that. And let me go here. Okay, delete that. All right, so let me see here. Is that still? They fried my line. That's Impact 4. They fried my line. Okay, so that's cool. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that. So again, people, I'm not here to vilify you guys' perception and what you guys speak on and things and stuff, but some things I just have a difference in opinion when it comes down to certain things. And just like you, I'm going to vocal my comments and views. So don't take it personal and things, because it's just my commentary. If I'm online, so, all right, cool. Okay, so let me see. There was one more that I needed to. 5 clips later. That was it right there. 5 clips later. This is the MPEG 4. So 5 clips later. MPEG 4. MPEG 3. All right. Cool. MPEG 4, MPEG 3. So good. I can delete that one. All right, well, anyway, I'm going to close up. And then there's one more I need to close. It's this one. The MPEG 4. And then let me do an MPEG 3. That's MPEG 4. Now let me do an MPEG 3. 5 clips later. MPEG 3, the audio. All right, so cool. So I think I got everything. All right, so let's go here. Let's go to YouTube. Let's go to YouTube real quick, people, and let's go home. So I got all of my channels up and running, which is good. Somebody chimed in, but I don't see nothing. All right, that's cool. Okay, so let me see here. Yeah. All right. Let's take a look at this here, people.
Tonight, the Alabama woman who vanished after reporting a toddler walking alone on the highway is back home safely. Police say 25-year-old Carly Russell returned last night, 2 days after a massive search for the then missing nursing student. CBS News' Astrid Martinez has been tracking the case for us all weekend. Astrid, what are you learning?
Mark, good evening. Well, this is the outcome everyone was hoping for, but the circumstances surrounding Carly Russell's disappearance still remain a mystery.
After a desperate 2-day search, 25-year-old Carly Russell is safe. Police say she returned home alone on foot last night.
We got a 911 call, came from her residence, which is her parents' house, at 9:45, stating that she was home, and then, of course, our folks got over there as quickly as we could.
This morning, Russell's family was outside a hospital in Birmingham, where medical professionals evaluated her. A man who says he's a close friend of Russell posted on Instagram she was literally fighting for her life for 48 hours. He goes on to characterize her disappearance as a kidnapping, adding until she is physically and mentally stable again, she's not able to give any updates on her kidnapper. Shortly after, Russell's mother posted on Facebook thanking God for her return. Police are working to determine where the nursing student has been since Thursday night, when she called 911 and then a relative to report seeing a child alone on the side of the dark highway.
we're sure that she called 911 from the interstate, and we're sure that a few minutes later, when the police arrived, she was not there, and there wasn't a toddler there either.
Russell's car and some of her belongings, including her cell phone and Apple Watch, were found at the scene, but no sign of a child.
Russell's parents told the NBC affiliate in Birmingham that they believe that the child that she reported seeing on the side of the road was used as bait to lure her out of her car. Mark?
Okay, Astrid, thanks. Break.
Woo, man, that is really deep, peoples. You know, it's really something. You literally have to put your mind and a heart on a swivel, because one thing you have to do, you have to, and I'm saying that you have to, because you have to literally stay prayed up, peoples, because in this world it is so demonic. It's so demonic. You have to literally this world is so demonic, peoples. It is absolutely crazy. And the forces that be is out to get as many people as it possibly can to bring them down, to take them away from family and friends and loved ones, and you know, things that you are used to, and so on and so forth. And you know, it's they're not only attacking just the young people, but they're attacking older people as well. They're attacking everybody. And you have to stay prayed up, peoples, because man, it's crazy. Let's take a look at another thing here, people.
Tonight, the Alabama woman who vanished after a...
Let's go ahead and take a little look and see what else is going on here. Oh, this is the one that I wanted to talk to you about right here, and I'm glad that they got him.
We're learning officers shot and killed a murder suspect during a widespread manhunt in Georgia. Police say 40-year-old Andre Longmore gunned down 3 men and a woman Saturday in a subdivision in Hampton. That's about 30 miles south of Atlanta. Today, officers caught Longmore in nearby Clayton County. A deputy and a police officer were wounded during the deadly run-in. We're learning officers shot and killed a murder suspect during a widespread manhunt in Georgia. Police say 40-year-old Andre Longmore gunned down 3 men and a woman Saturday in a subdivision in Hampton. That's about 30 miles south of Atlanta. Today, officers caught Longmore in nearby Clayton County. A deputy and a police officer were wounded during the deadly run-in.
I'm joined here by my law enforcement partners, as well as the partners in the community, as well as the local government who will be providing those updates. At the end of this news conference, if you have any questions, we'll be open to do it, but understand that it is still a very active and ongoing criminal investigation. And so we'll do our best to provide the updates, but right now we wanted to take a moment now that we're at a place to update you all. So I'm going to turn it over to the Henry County Sheriff, Sheriff Scandrick.
In collaboration with the Henry County Sheriff's Office, U.S. Marshals, Henry County Police Department, Henry Emergency Management, Hampton Police Department, Clayton County Sheriff's Office, Clayton County Police Department, Clayton EMS, Clayton Fire, Georgia State Patrol, Stockbridge PD, Fulton County SO, and Fulton County PD. The monster's dead. By utilizing collective investigative measures, we were able to track this suspect over to 138 in Mount Zion Parkway. We engaged the suspect. Suspect returned fire and hit the ground running. We gave chase, re-engaged the suspect. He produced a handgun again, shots and fired. Well, gunfire was exchanged. The suspect was neutralized. The citizens of Hampton, the county of Henry, Metro Atlanta area, and the entire state of Georgia can breathe a little easy tonight. The suspect is off the street. We have a couple of officers that are injured. The most severe has been life flighted to Grady. He was hit in the rear of his back. He is conscious, breathing, and talking at this time frame. At this point, we don't want to say anything else because the family has been notified. We want to sort of keep that close to the vest right now until we find out exactly what is going on with the officer progressing. Please continue to keep these officers in your prayers. Thank you to the collective work, these men and women behind me. It's an absolute honor to serve with them. It's an absolute honor to have this day that we can breathe a little bit easier and sleep a little bit better tonight. This monster is off of our streets. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Kevin Roberts, Clayton County Police Department, Chief of Police. I'm pleased to report that along with our partners in the Southern Crescent, we were able to apprehend this offender very, very quickly, considering the circumstances and the way that he was maneuvering. He traveled into Clayton County, and the Henry County Sheriff made me aware, and we mobilized resources that engaged him in two different scenes where gunfire was exchanged. And as the sheriff previously said, we also had officers that sustained injuries from gunfire. Those officers are stable, conscious, and alert, and we expect them to survive. I would like to mention what you see here is a partnership, continued partnership, critical incident after critical incident. These resources, these leaders come together to ensure the safety of not only Henry County, but Clayton County and the Southern Crescent region. And I'm pleased to be a part of this partnership and collaboration. And we will continue to keep the citizens of the Southern region safe in this manner moving forward.
Good afternoon. My name is James Turner. I'm the police chief for the City of Hampton Police Department. On July the 15th, between 10:45 and 10:55 a.m., 4 residents in the City of Hampton lost their life. First was Scott Levitt, age 67. He lived on Dogwood Lakes Drive. His wife, Shirley Levitt, age 66, also on Dogwood Lakes Drive.
We live in a world filled with media streams, social platforms, and devices. Countless files.
Third was Steve Blizzard, age 65, lived on Dogwood Lakes Drive as well. Last was Ronald Jeffers, age 66, lived on Dogwood Ridge. I think it's important that we remember our victims. It is everybody that stands behind me. It is our job to provide safety for our community. When this tragedy happened, I am proud to say that the men and women behind me now, didn't sleep until the resolution that the sheriff spoke of today. I'd like to thank all the members of the Hampton Police Department, all the members of the Henry County Sheriff's Office, Henry County Police Department, U.S. Marshals, the State Patrol, every agency in the Henry County Fire, and the ones that assisted in Clayton today. Every agency stepped up, and collectively we brought resolution and some peace to our citizens. Thank you.
My name is Alex Kohelos. I'm the city manager for the city of Hampton. The last 36 hours have been very sad and surreal for this community. When we came yesterday, we had no idea that tragedy would befall this tranquil and peaceful community. Yesterday will certainly go down as one of the saddest in the 150-year history of this city. We tragically lost 4 citizens, and this community is grieving. None of us dreamed this day would come. We're thankful that we have achieved the resolution in which no more loss of life occurred. It's long been said that no man or woman is an island, and that certainly is the case when a public safety emergency arises, and that has been the case over the last 36 hours. There's many people for many agencies that the city of Hampton has to thank, and I would like to take this moment and thank them all on behalf of the city government of Hampton. First and foremost, I want to thank Chief Turner and the Hampton Police Department for his outstanding leadership in leading a unified command structure that engaged the assets and resources of many public safety agencies. I want to publicly thank the Henry County Board of Commissioners and the agencies that they put at our disposal once the mutual aid agreements were triggered yesterday morning at about 10:45. I want to publicly thank the Henry County Police Department under the command of Chief Ammerman. I would like to publicly thank Henry County Sheriff's Department and Sheriff Scandrick, the Henry County Crime Scene Unit, the Henry County Fire Department, Henry County Department of Homeland Security, and Henry County EMA, who provided multiple services to us, the GBI, and the U.S. Marshal's Office. As we worked through the night and transitioned today, we received a ton of help from the Clayton County Police Department under the command of Chief Roberts, which culminated with what you heard today when the incident was concluded. Clayton County Sheriff's Department under the command and direction of Sheriff Allen, and Clayton County Fire and Emergency Services under the command of Chief Sweat, who transported the wounded officers.
Okay, people, so I had to come back for a moment because I had to interject for a second. And I just want to speak to you all. The lives that I play right now is old lives. And whatever was said on the lives, that's what was said back then at that particular time. It doesn't apply now. Now, if many of you guys are triggered by anything that I say on any of these old lives, well, then just don't watch the live. That's all you have to do. I'm not going to sit here and get all upset or hash over old stuff that has already been talked about. If you guys don't like what I'm saying or don't like what I'm doing, don't watch the live. That's it. That'll keep you from us getting, having a issue between each other. Now, I had issues with many people. I have gone beyond that now. This is a new day. So I'm going to play back my lives, and my lives, whatever was said on that, on the live, that was at that particular time. If you're triggered behind the things that I'm saying that I'm playing back on the live, don't watch the live. Don't watch the live. And then that way we don't have no beef. And if you consist on, then just don't come back. I mean, people, it's goddamn, this shit has been played out way back in the day. I'm not focused upon negativity. I'm not focused upon shit and all like that and stuff. I'm just sitting back playing my live so the people who haven't seen it can be able to see it. Is that all right, peoples? So I hope this time around, and I hope what I'm saying right now is bringing clarity out of confusion, because I don't like confusion. Now, what was ever said back then in that day, that's what was said. It doesn't apply today. Again, if you're triggered by the things that I say, just don't watch the live. And then you ain't got to worry about nothing. Is that all right, peoples?
To first Southern Regional and ultimately being transported to Grady Hospital. I would also like to point out the help of the community that has reached out to Mayor Tarpley and the City Council and has extended their efforts of support, their prayers, and in particular, Hampton First Baptist Church. Yesterday, we received a ton of requests to identify the victims, and everybody wanted to know what was going on. But we had to, first of all, be respectful of the next of kin and make sure that they were notified and that their grief was properly respected and make sure that we did not put their names out first. I want to thank First Baptist for providing a lot of services were provided by the chaplain of the Hampton Police Department, which included counseling of officers, providing water and snacks for the Hampton Police Department, and also for Henry County's EMA services, which help with the displacement of those who were residing in some of the homes that were involved in the shooting yesterday. So it was a collective effort. And at this point in time, there's been a conclusion of a certain part of it, and now we have to pivot towards healing as a community. And I think the mayor will provide the leadership between the mayor and council, and we will have to look forward to that. She will speak to that next.
Good evening. So we are truly thankful for our law enforcement agencies for doing the due diligence to go and hunt and capture and ultimately take down this offender. But today is about the victims of this tragic event. It's about their families and it's about the community. On July the 15th, a tragedy befell our community. This event caused our citizens to be anxious and on high alert. However, during this time, we did what Hampton does. We took care of each other. We had the elderly that were being taken care of, making sure that they were safe. The single mothers being taken care of, making sure that they were safe. And overall, making sure that each other was safe. We want to personally thank the citizens of the city of Hampton for doing what Hampton do. See, we are Hampton. We stick together. We support each other in our time of need, in season and out of season. We are proud to call Hampton home. So on tomorrow evening at 7:30 at the Terry Jones Depot Park, we will be having a candlelight vigil for the families that lost their lives, the individuals that lost their lives, and for their families. We're asking the entire community to come out and support them and show them that we have their back and that we will continue to support them throughout their bereavement. Again, we thank you so very much. We look forward to answering any questions that you might have at this time. Yes, sir.
Is there any way you can reveal who the injured officers are with, which agencies?
No, so we're not going to do that this time. It's still an ongoing investigation, and a number of the family members have not been notified, so we're supposed to sort of keep that close to the vest.
The one that's more serious, is the other one confirmed going to live?
Yes.
Good.
I can add for the sheriff's remarks, it appears that the officers all should recover safely. I know that the Clayton County Police Department officers appear to be in recovery mode and should recover well. And as the sheriff said, we're not prepared to release any names. We know that they're at local hospitals and we expect them to recover. Non-life-threatening injuries.
Is there any other information you can provide about the initial shooting and where the victims were? If they were in their homes, in a car, out in the open?
The GBI still is investigating, so at this time, we're not going to release any of that information. They will be able to do so at a later time.
Sheriff or Chief, how did you guys know the suspect was working with? So the 911 call.
Outstanding collective men and women work in law enforcement. Utilizing our investigatory measures collectively together, we were able to track this person down.
We're hearing that Longmore possibly ran into someone's home and was possibly shot there. Are you able to confirm that?
We will not confirm that. This is still it's still an ongoing investigation at this point in time frame. We just want to make sure that everyone in the community understands that this person now is not with us and that everyone can rest a little bit safer.
Chief Turner, do you have any idea why Mr. Longmore shot these people?
Yeah, that is still being investigated by the GBI, so at this time we do not.
Do you think it is likely we'll ever have any idea?
That is up to the GBI and their investigation when and if they're able to determine that.
Did he live in the Dog Lakes Drive community?
He did.
He lived at 55, right?
I don't know the exact address.
Has anyone spoken to his family and are they cooperating?
At this time, we're not able to disclose that. His family has been in contact with law enforcement from the very beginning, though.
Do you know if anyone helped him since he was escaped yesterday for the past day or two? Was anyone assisting him as he was running away?
Again, this is an ongoing investigation. Those things we cannot talk about at this time frame because we're still in the midst of summarizing and concluding the same.
Was the GMC a kid that he took stolen, or was that his vehicle?
It was stolen from one of the victims. It was stolen from Mr. Blizzard, who lived on Dogwood Lakes.
Chief, you said yesterday that what happened is not normal for the town of Hampton. Gun violence and mass shootings have, in a way, sadly become normal across our country. What do you have to say about getting home?
I don't know about the rest of the country. The last homicide we had in Hampton was 2018, and we're the third safest city. It's just not normal for us.
Thank you so much for your attention to this. Again, this is an ongoing criminal investigation. I know there are a lot of questions that everyone wants answers to. We are actively investigating these matters. We will be updating the public with the statement, but we do have to give time for the law enforcement officers that were injured to be with their families and honor the families in Hampton. So at this particular point, that's all that we have for right now, but we'll provide updates as we can. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you, Nels.
Woo, man. Wow. People don't even know what to say. Let's. Nah, I don't even want to go through all of that because that's kind of way too long of a thing. I was gonna go and see about playing that, but I don't think I'm gonna play that. As you can see, peoples, you got communities that's coming together. People are coming together for the common good. People are coming together to bring to justice those perpetrators who have done evil deeds towards the community, innocent people. And this is my endeavor, peoples. I am here to bring justice for Kenneka Jenkins and all of the other people who names literally crossed my screen. I will always do my best to try to bring validity and clarity out of confusion, which many comes to bring an illusion. Peoples, I'm just like the attorneys that Teresa Martin had, which we go where the facts may lead us, and we leave no stone unturned. Now, I've also always said beforehand, I'm only going to go by to the degree of what these people have given, for what these people have said, and for what these people have shown. Now, I'm not here, and I cannot speak for all of the other YouTubers and Facebookers and things because everyone has their own unique way of speaking about these cases and things. And whatever they choose to do, or whatever route that they choose to do, well, then that is incumbent upon them. But as you people, is what I say, you have an obligation as well, especially when you come onto these different channels and stuff and all the time want to blast out for whatever reason. Now, when conversations is being talked about, are being are people are having conversations and stuff, it is incumbent upon you to come and chime out and to speak your piece. Don't just speak your piece when there is a conflict of confusion or some type of whatever going on, or impasse and things. Come and share your narrative. Come and share that of what you believe. Doesn't, regardless of whatever I think, of whatever I believe, if you believe something different, come and stand 10 toes down upon it and defend it. Defend it. But many of you can't do that because you are intimidated. And intimidated by what? If you ever read the case files, if you ever listened to these things of what these people have said, and if you ever saw what they did, well, then you compare all three. And then you come up with a conclusion. Many of you guys just speak just to be speaking, and you don't even know what you're speaking about. And these are the things that I chime out about. Peoples, there are some things that is just absolutely crystal clear, and then there are some things that is a little fuzzy. But even with those things that is a little fuzzy, there is enough to come to a reasonable and plausible conclusion. No need to get all mad and get bent out of shape because somebody disagree with you. And then stop lying on the other people and stop lying on me, saying, oh, well, I'm just this egregious or aggressive person. No, I'm aggressive with you when you come into the house and you be disrespectful. But I challenge each and everybody's narrative. I've always tend to break it down and analyze it to see if it holds any weight. But if you can't stand up to scrutiny, well, then, hey, be my guest. Be quiet, shut up, and then just listen and watch. It's just that simple, peoples. Nobody is here to kiss anybody's tail. We're not here to do that. We're here to find out answers as to what could possibly happen to Kenneka Jenkins. And the more that I dive in, people, the more that I'm beginning to be satisfied to see the setup. And the setup is with Monifa, Irene, and Shemaya, the setup crew, the Three Stooges. They lured Kenneka down to this establishment for a party with the premise of getting paid. Now, I believe it's a twofold thing. I didn't always believe this, but after further investigations, I believe it now. And it's come clear and evident, even more so than that of what we have saw and heard on the other day. And I must tip my hat off to 54 Keys because she has done an excellent job in piecing this together. Piecing this part of the puzzle together. That was wonderful. That was wonderful strategic artwork because she literally painted the picture for you to get you to see and understand yourself. And so I don't what I can't really understand, peoples, is that why is it that everybody think under the sun that Kenneka Jenkins was drunk? Why? Why? Because they said it? Is that why everybody takes upon that attitude? Oh, well, Kenneka Jenkins was drunk. She had one cup. Now she's drunk. Peoples, I had one Modelo. And if I've only had the equivalent of what Kenneka Jenkins and Kenneka Jenkins and Monifa and Bree had, you think I'll be drunk off that little one cup? I mean, I had two Modelos. Two Modelos took me out of here. But see, those Modelos wasn't like the little cups that they had. They were gobblers. And if you know what a gobbler is, that is a big, huge cup with a substantial amount of alcohol. But those little cups, I can't see for the likes of me that anybody would get that drunk, if she was drunk, off of a cup of Hennessy. Not like that. Not to be so impaired to where you're literally staggering all over in an establishment. If it was Kenneka. Now, come on, people. Let's put this stuff in perspective here. Because, see, you know, I need to speak to people who have a good, wholesome, meticulous mind that don't sit and give in to this bullshit and nonsense that many of you be saying. Because many of you are all into your feelings. Many of you guys feel and think with your feelings. You act with your feelings. You talk and walk with your feelings. But take your feelings out of it, because your feelings ain't got nothing to do with it, peoples. Take your feelings out of it. And look at the evidence for what it is. What it's saying, peoples. And that's what I'm saying. You got to look at it for what it is, peoples. Got to look at it for what it is. When you look at it for what it is, peoples, then you're beginning to see a whole lot of things happening. You see a big picture emerging. Because, see, as you can see, the narrative don't fit the case files, and the case files don't fit what was being shown in this hilarious and nefarious video footage. And even the after hours commentary is what I call it. You know, it still don't fit. See, the problem that these kids have had in the establishment is that there was a rush to do things, and everybody wasn't coordinated as what they should have been, which is good. Because if there was any true validity to the various things that the kids were saying, well, then it wouldn't have been no reason to lie in the first place. Why are you lying if you're supposed to be telling the truth? Why are you lying? Well, you're lying because you need to cover up your part of the things that has transpired. That's why you're lying. See, people, you know, if you really put things in perspective, it wouldn't be no reason whatsoever for Kenneka Jenkins to come to an establishment only to turn around 7 minutes later and say, I'm ready to go. But yet, 38 minutes later, she gets a response from Shemaya saying, me too. 38 minutes later, and Shemaya is texting her back, me too. So for 38 minutes, peoples, what was transpiring that Shemaya waited 38 minutes to text Kenneka Jenkins back and say, me too. Obviously, you wasn't that ready because of the simple fact that it took 38 minutes for you to respond back, me too. Me too. So, you had Teresa Martin get on national TV and say she was left at a party. Well, what party was she left at, Teresa Martin? Then you go on to proceed to say, them bastards, ain't nothing happened to my child. Hey, Live, how y'all doing? My effing daughter is dead, and for the book and for the record, ain't nothing happened to my child. Well, how could you sit here and say ain't nothing happened to your child, ma'am, and you ain't even seen your child yet? But ain't nothing happened to my child. And for the book and for the record, ain't nothing happened to her. I mean, she's doubling and tripling down upon her narrative of nothing happening to Kenneka Jenkins without further investigation. Did you see her body, Teresa Martin? Did you see her lying in a freezer or on a gurney, Teresa Martin, before you went and made a statement and said, ain't nothing happened to my child? But you refer to your child as your effing daughter. It's amazing to me, peoples, how this black bitch can sit up here and lie her motherfucking ass off and say ain't nothing happened to her child. Now, I get it. I understand. You guys don't like that. You guys don't like me to call her a bitch. Well, I don't give two rat's asses. Come chime out, I'll call you a bitch. You ain't said shit before. So why you got something to say now? What, you Teresa Martin lovers? Y'all ass kissers. Y'all sit up here and y'all want to defend this woman. Guilty as sin. You show me any evidence whatsoever that Teresa Martin was so goddamn concerned about Kenneka Jenkins. Show me one shred of evidence. You can't. Hello, little Bo Pete. How are you, ma'am? It's a blessing to see you on today. You show me one shred of evidence that Teresa Martin ever cared about Kenneka Jenkins. See, that's the difference between me and Trey Gay, Mr. Randall. Because that sucker loves him so Teresa Martin. And I despise her ass. So, it ain't no comparison between us two. Because we've so totally far against the spectrum. He's on one end and I'm on the other. Because he's a Teresa Martin ass kisser and I never been. And never will be. Now, what did Teresa Martin do for Kenneka Jenkins other than sit here and lie her ass off? And then why is she lying? This bitch was talking about, well, I need some help, y'all. I need some help. Well, God damn it, I have been here all of this time. And all of these other YouTubers, everybody, Jedediah and all of them, everybody was trying to help this bitch. And what she do? She turned her back up on them all. And then she had all of those young peoples over there crying their little eyeballs out. She denied the help. And yet going to sit up here and play all of these goddamn games talking about she needs some help. You show me anywhere where she had surgery that week. Show me a video, pictures, or anything that clearly shows that Teresa Martin had surgery the week of Kenneka Jenkins' disappearance. Show me. Anybody. You suckers, y'all been on this case forever and a day. Show me a video or picture of Teresa Martin having surgery the week that Kenneka Jenkins had came up missing. And it's just like what Little Bo Peep said. You can't. You can't. You can't not show me not one picture or video of Teresa Martin ever getting surgery that week that Kenneka Jenkins came up missing. You can't. Little Bo Peep said, last time I thought this was in August when she was cured, remission. But oh my God, come on, people. Well, help me to fucking make this make sense. You guys actually think Teresa Martin had breast cancer? Give me a fucking break. All of those who think that Teresa Martin had breast cancer, press 1. All of those who think that Teresa Martin is full of bullshit, press 2. See, you can't even take a stance because you don't want Teresa Martin to look at this live and see you talking about her. See, you know, you guys some sick bastards. You some sick ass puppies because you fucking want to sit up here and play tiddlywinks with me. You don't fucking care. You're Teresa Martin lovers, wanting to see what Edward Joseph has to say about her. Look at that. Thank you, wise guy. Where the fuck is everybody else? You guys don't. You afraid to stand up and be accounted for? I get it now. Your silence is golden. I get it. You don't want to piss her off. I get it. I got a fucking chat full of Teresa Martin lovers who is afraid to stand up and clearly rebuke this bullshit that she's been saying and doing. Edward Joseph and Wise Guy is the only two who chimed out. So that's remarkable, people. That tells me what goddamn audience I'm looking at right here. All right.
catching that nigga DMV, bro. That nigga, he playing with that bullshit with our shorties down here getting snatched up, bro. None of that no more. Official all of them niggas.
King Low. Sorry about that, buddy.
Shit got to be addressed. Y'all know something just got to be addressed, man. Y'all already know that. Y'all know this fuck shit got to be addressed. Before we do that, I want to go on record and say I apologize to Mother Teresa. Nah, that's why I say that. I got to apologize to her because not only do I have to look at the fact that she might have been under the influence of her medication, you know what I'm saying? She might have been under the weather, you know what I'm saying? Sick in the bed, whatever. Unable to respond or get up or, you know, unresponsive to, you know, her normal self. But I also had to look at the fact that I had to maybe put myself in her shoes or try to put myself in her shoes. You feel me? And I had to look at it and say, like, you know, what if she was threatened? You feel me? So what if she doing what she doing to protect her and the rest of her family? I had to look at it like that. Know what I'm saying? And I had to actually consider that if she was put in fear, that could alter her emotions and cause her happiness to turn into fear. And maybe that's why her reactions was the way they were. I'm just giving her the benefit of the doubt.
Okay, so let's explore that possibility. So I'm gonna entertain that just for one moment. Just for one moment. Give the woman the benefit of the doubt. If Teresa Martin was threatened, if her life was threatened in any way, shape, form, or another in things, then ask yourself the question. Ask yourself the question. Was it worth her doing the various things that she's doing because her life is threatened? Remember, she got on here and she just literally boldly told us, well, I have two brothers deceased. I have a sister deceased. I have a daughter deceased. And friends deceased. You guys remember the line that I played back, right? So she's sitting here clouting that family and friends is deceased. And you got to ask yourself your question. Why are these people deceased and she's still living? And she's still living high off the hog and getting all of these breast implants and butt tucks and tummy tucks and face lifts and all of this stuff. But yet, her family is deceased. So, my question is, was it all worth it? If you was threatened, was it all worth going through all of the things that you proclaim to be going through to get all of these tummy tucks and breast surgeries and ass surgeries and piece surgeries and all like this and stuff? Was it worth it? I mean, your family is 6 feet under and you're still alive and you're still spending money like it's no tomorrow. Was it all worth it? I mean, would you say, hey, come threaten me again because, hey, as much as you threaten me, as much as I'm going to live? Was it all worth it? That's all I ask, peoples. That's all I ask. Was it all worth it? Everybody around her is gone and she's still living, getting tummy tucks and things. Was it all worth it? And see, I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt when she's saying my effing daughter is dead. And for the book and for the record, with no investigation whatsoever, she's coming out and telling everybody her effing daughter is dead. And see, you know, I can understand people are getting threatened. I understand that. I get that. But what I don't understand is how you can sit up here and not shed a tear for your daughter. But yet you cry rivers of water when it comes down to your sister. My effing daughter is dead, but yet my sister is gone. Now let me cry rivers of waters. Let me cry, peoples, because my sister is gone. And I can't fathom the likelihood of living and my sister is gone. Well, she didn't care too much about J Money because she didn't cry for him. She didn't care too much about Kenneka Jenkins because she didn't cry for her. Don't cry for me. I want to say, don't cry for me. I want to say, don't cry for me. I want to say, don't cry for me. And that's what she's saying. Don't cry for me. Don't cry for me. Her effing daughter is dead. And she's telling the people, don't cry for me. All right, so my friend, I tried my best. I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt. But see, I'm not like you. I can't do that. I can't do that, my friend. I cannot, for the likes of me, formulate my mouth into saying or formulate my mind into thinking and trying to give this woman the benefit of the doubt. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I tried. So you can't fault me for trying. I tried. but I can't do it. But I'm here to listen to what you got to say. So let's listen to Brother Man and see what else he has to say about Teresa Martin. I'm curious to know, because I tried. I literally tried, peoples, and I couldn't succeed even after about 3 to 5 minutes of me talking about this. I tried my best to even just think about any type of way that I can give her a pass. But every time I think about it, it just makes me want to jump all in her ass. Oh, peoples. Let's go.
You know, emotionally, I couldn't see, you know what I'm saying, for myself, you know, I couldn't see it.
Wait a minute, people. See now, see, he's about to make me just throw a chair right through this monitor. Emotionally, he can see it. Man, I am about the most, I'm about the most feeling person that can ever be, because I do genuinely care about people and about people's feelings and things. But in this case, I'm sorry, my friend, I just don't see it. And I try my best to give people a pass, but in this case, I can't. I just don't see it. And he has the nerve to say emotionally, I get it, but I can give her a pass. I'm sorry, brother. I can't do it. I'm not like you. We two totally different peoples. So where you give her a pass, I want to touch that ass and beat it down. Peoples, I'm trying my best to get through this video without saying much and stuff, but I'm gonna try. I'm going to try. That's all I can do. I'm going to try. Okay. All right. Let's go.
But I had to really sit back and think about it. Now, let me ask y'all a question. Y'all know who John F. Kennedy is, right? Nah, y'all know what happened to him. John F. Kennedy was killed and the reason why he was killed, because he chose to give up the shadow government. He chose to do away with it, do away with the unseen hand. Now, the unseen hand y'all looking for, those are the one that told the alphabet boys, don't show up in Rosemont. Y'all follow? Y'all see where I'm going with this? Now, if you got the president of the United States want to do away with these type of organizations, and y'all do y'all see where I'm going with this? Now, y'all going after the unseen hand. Gonna show them your every move, let them know everything that you know. Now, see, that's all I've been saying, man. Be smart about this.
All right, people. So now, finally, this brother is making some sense. He's making some sense. And this is what I've been trying to tell the people for the longest time. This unseen hand has a hand in it. And he's right. You can't show the people your every move. You can't show the people all of what you have and things. You just can't do it, peoples, because the unseen hand is all the time trying to shut you down. You guys seen it the other day? My line gets stripped. It gets cut. Well, it was by the unseen hand because I didn't do it. The same black car that was in my driveway. And then, my internet line gets cut My internet line, not everybody else in the neighborhood, just mine particularly. And then in the same black car, they go and drop off some food on my porch, thinking that I'm going to eat it. Very expensive food. You know, the unseen hand is at work. The unseen hand is saying, hey, we know where you are. We know who you are. We know what you're doing. And just like you said, we're not going to threaten you, but we're just going to do things to keep you quiet. But see, that's the one thing about the unseen hand. The unseen hand don't know what hand that I'm playing either. And that's why they do the things that they do. But see, the unseen hand needs to understand that I got eagle eyes. And I got eyes in back of my head, on the side of my head, and in front of my head. And then I got unseen eyes that is above my head. And not only above my head, but it's above theirs as well. And he's all seeing, all knowing, all wise God, who said, stand still and know that I am God and I will fight your battles. That's what he said. So I don't need for me to sit around here and be fearful and all like this. For what? If God is before me, who can be against me? So I get it. I get it. I see the unseen hand in their work, but I will not be dismayed. The word says, be not dismayed, whatever betide, God will take care of you. And so the Lord is taking care of me, peoples. And this is why I tried to tell the hilarious and nefarious people out there. You can't all the time show your cards. You can't let them know your every move. You just can't do it, peoples. You know, this is why I try to tell the hilarious and nefarious. You can't do that. But you still got people who still don't understand. But that's okay, because it's not meant for them to understand. It's just meant for you to do what you need to do. And that's what I do, peoples. And that's why I navigate these channels the way that I do it and stuff, because the unseen hand is always going to have his hand in the cookie jar and trying to take the cookie out and trying to have his cookie in his milk. But not with Edward Joseph. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen, peoples. Not with Edward Joseph. And so this is where we are, and this is why I do what I do. And this is why I have to be a solo driver, because not everybody can drive down this path as I do. And not everybody can handle it like I am. See, many of you guys can't even accept the simplest little criticism before you start to melt and break and go all with the rocker and stuff. So I get what the brother is saying. The unseen hand is there and it's looking, but see what the unseen hand don't understand is the unseen hand don't know all of your moves. He doesn't know your playbook. He's trying to play you by bringing all of these people in to try to extract the information that you know. Because see, what they don't know is what they want to know. And so they will send everybody under the sun to try to extract information from you. But see, if you play your cards right, Well, the unseen hand will never understand and never comprehend. And that's what I say, peoples. You know, it's exactly what I say. You got to stand up and you have to be accountable for the things that you do. And that's why I do what I do. Let's listen in to what he has to say, people. This is interesting now.
Be smart about this. Everybody wants justice for her, bro, but it's how you doing it. Speaking through a microphone and pressing buttons is not gonna get justice, bro. If y'all ain't talking about boots on the ground with a plan of action, y'all need to stop this motherfucking exploitation of her and her family, bro. Cause y'all digging up shit from her past, digging up shit from her family past. It ain't got shit to do with what happened at Crown Plaza. Ain't none of that shit got nothing to do with what happened at Crown Plaza, bro. Y'all showing these pictures out now about what went on in the hotel because they allowing y'all to see this shit, bro. They allowing these photos to go out. They ain't have to put the motherfucking photos out. They didn't have to let y'all know nothing. It was a ritual, bro. When y'all gonna come up with that? It was a ritual. That's why we able to see this. That's why we able to witness this shit, bro.
Bingo! Wow! God damn it, I'm finally got someone with some sense that sees exactly what I have been saying for the longest time. Wow, finally I got somebody that can see for the longest time what I have been saying all of this time, peoples. When are you going to get woke? When are you guys going to wake up? And when are you guys are going to see this thing for what it really is? I told you, peoples. See, you wasn't ready when I told you that I was going to go in with these uppers about the satanic rituals that they do. And when I start to speak about that, then look at all of the shit that was happening to me. My line gets severed. My modem gets get burnt. Then my lives go down. Now they make it so that the people can't see my lives now. Everything is affecting me. But all of these other YouTubers who's been talking about this shit forever and a day, ain't nothing happening to them. But no sooner than ever Joseph goes down a certain trajectory, now all hell breaks loose. And you got to ask yourself why. You got to ask yourself why. Why is all hell breaking loose at this particular junction? It's because Edward Joseph is on this shit. More so than any of you who's ever been talking about this case. You're playing a song and dance, and I'm here playing the music. I'm the DJ. I control what you do on the dance floor. Because see, the thing is, if I'm not playing the right music, you ain't dancing. And see, it's a song and dance, people. It's a song and dance that you have to play. But see, I know how to play the song and dance. I know how to move. I got the moves. I know how to maneuver. I know exactly the right songs to play to get the people's attention. Man, I am so happy that I tuned into this live because, again, finally, for the first time in history, I got another YouTuber who is clearly saying what I'm saying. Wake up and smell the goddamn coffee, peoples. I've been telling you this for the longest time. It was a satanic ritual, peoples. And many of you did not understand that. Many of you did not believe that. Many of you still don't receive that. But it really doesn't matter because that's what it is. It's exactly what it is. And I'm glad that this brother is speaking volumes now. First, he was speaking nonsense. But I get it now. I get where he's coming from. I get it. Now he's making some sense. Let's listen to what he has to say, peoples.
On a daily basis. And y'all helping them with the ritual, boy. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Chosen King say he was done with the case? Did he not go live and say he was done with this case? Man, y'all can have this case. I don't want to deal with it no more. It's all this whole ass shit. So why he still bringing it up? He don't call himself creating a power panel. Got Kate 420 on her. He don't know she could have been an extra in Get Out. You know, one of the motherfucker waving them paddles in the auction. She could have been one of them. You don't fucking know. And you talking about a power panel. Everybody done turned against you, bro. Everybody. You're a compulsive liar. You ain't showed me no evidence that her mama, her stepdaddy, her auntie harmed her. You ain't showed me no evidence yet. Your assumptions is what you've given to people. And your people falling for that shit. And getting mad at other people for not falling for that shit. All y'all full of shit. You're lying on the stepdaddy, talking about what he did in Tampa. Them ain't even the same people. The anatomy doesn't match up. The one from Chicago has a cleft in his forehead. Y'all see this little cleft shit right here? Her stepdaddy has a cleft that comes out. The shit like this. The other dude's shit is flat. His nose is narrow, comes straight down. It's the other dude. James Coleman nose is fatter at the top and it comes down wider. The dude from Tampa got a booty chin. Jane Coleman does not. The one from Chicago has thin lips. Now, if he gained so much weight, why is his lips so thin? The other dude from Tampa lips not like that. And look at the eyes. They say the eyes are the windows to the soul. It's not the same person, bro. And I can't believe people falling for this shit, bro. You're a compulsive liar, spreading lies, rumors, digging up shit from this girl history and her family member that ain't got shit to do with what happened at Crime Plaza. And you insist on her having incest with her motherfucking cousin, bro. Everybody know that girl was sleeping with her cousin. You the only one that's saying that shit. You the only one came up with that fuck shit. But yeah, man. If y'all don't have a plan of action and you don't plan on putting boots on the ground, then there ain't shit else to talk about, bro. Ain't no need to keep showing these pictures, exploiting this girl and her family, bro. All she has left is her name and her motherfucking dignity. And it's up to us to uphold that shit and y'all not fucking doing it. So fuck y'all and have a good motherfucking day. I fuck with my real people. Y'all know who y'all are. I fuck with all my real people. They fuck with me. We don't do that fake shit over here, man.
Recordings just got better.
Well, notice in his narrative, peoples, he touched upon the satanic ritual, but he didn't stay upon it. I thought that he was going to go in hard and heavy upon it. He knows what the fuck he's doing. He touched upon it and he made aware of it, but he did not stay upon it. And why is that? Well, because he, just like all of the other people, are wimps. They talk a lot of shit and stuff, but they can't do shit. You know? That's what they do. They make aware of what's going on, but when it really comes down to really doing some shit, well, you ain't standing up. You ain't trying to bring awareness to it. You're throwing in the towel just like everybody else. Now, I agree with him to a certain degree, but then he wimped out. It's easy to talk about the other people, but it's hard to talk about what's really going on. And this is why a lot of these YouTubers and Facebookers won't touch this. And I'm the only bold, baddest person here on YouTube and Facebook. That ever decided to venture out into what's really going on. I told you many times before. All of this stuff that you're seeing is this stuff is what they want you to see. They gave you a narrative. They gave you what to say. They showed you how to follow by it. And many of you are running with it just like it's actual, factual, or true. You guys are trying to put this girl in somewhere where she's never been and spreading this false mantra, coming up with all of these super channels and super panels and things and stuff. And like the, what was it called? The round table. John Queer Q and Boss Man the Hair Lost Man. So what did John Queer Q have to say? Boss Man the Hair Lost Man. He has a dookie braids around his cliff that anybody gets up there and ice skates, they end up falling off the cliff. What conclusion to the illusion have they come up with, peoples? Really, what have they done in this community? Other than to sit around and talk so much shit. And many of you sat back and believed all of that nonsense that they were saying. What difference did it make? Where are they now? It's amazing, people. This brother was on the trajectory. He was doing good, but then he wimped out. You can sit here and talk and try to be a badass as much as you want to, but the proof is in the pudding. Get on here and talk some real shit. instead of this nonsense that many of you continue to keep talking about this very day.
Hey guys, welcome back to Talk Tuesday.
Growing up on the Tuesday.
So many of you guys are complaining about my background and said that you missed being able to see Bernie on my bed. Don't worry, I have this extra chair back here so any of the pets can chill if they want to in the background. So today for Talk Tuesday, I wanted to talk about a very recent murder case that has been extremely popular, discussed on social media. I have had it requested literally hundreds of times. The case that we're discussing today is the case of Kenneka Jenkins, who actually passed away probably sometime on September 9th. So I'm going to cut right to it. And I just want you guys to keep in mind that this is a very new case. There's barely any information out there other than the extreme amounts of fake things that there are on this case on the internet. Please, with this case and all cases, do not believe something you see as a meme on Instagram. Do not believe something you've just seen retweeted a bunch of times, what must be true. There is so much misinformation out there on this case. It truly blows my mind, and it took me even longer to go through it all because just the amount of it and verifying whether or not it was true. But do keep in mind that since this is a new case, I don't have tons of information. Not all of the information is out there, including an autopsy and toxicology report, which is going to tell us a lot. So that's why I just want to do this as a casual Talk Tuesday and just sort of talk about the case and my thoughts on it. And maybe I'll make an update video when we actually get some more information. So Kenneka Jenkins was a 19-year-old woman who attended a party at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Chicago. The party was on a Friday night, September 8th, and she went missing sometime on the early mornings of Saturday the 9th and early hours of Sunday the 10th. Kenneka was found, her body was found in a freezer in a vacant area of the hotel, an area that was, I guess, under construction. It was a kitchen that was not in use at the time. And I've seen so many things out there about this, including the Daily Mail. I tweeted this, but look what they said. They literally called her freezer teen instead of Kenneka. Like, the lack of respect just truly baffles me. But let's go back and talk through about the whole thing and how it went down with the information that we have so far. Kenneka graduated from the Community Christian Alternative Academy and actually just gotten a job at a nursing home and was out celebrating with friends. Now, Kenneka did not tell her mom where she was going, as most teens who have hotel parties do not tell their parents where they're going. For obvious reasons. Oftentimes when people have parties in hotels, they are booked by older people, and that's exactly what happened in this case. And they actually used a fake credit card to book the room. Kenneka told her mom that she was going, I think, bowling and to a movie, definitely not to a hotel party. So she lied to her mom. She took her mom's car and she was with a group of her friends, and they went and they left her house around, I think, 11:30 Friday night and went to this party at the Crown Plaza. We live in the age of social media where everyone loves to document everything they do, occasions, parties. There's a lot of footage just from the party that night, that people were just filming just for fun.
Y'all can get put out. Y'all can put out. What's up, bro? Nothing like my brother son.
That's right, you know it. Okay, I'm in the fuck everybody. I'm in my own zone, nigga. And everything's sleeping on the way.
There are tons of people online who have gone through this footage, slowed down parts of it, and swear that they can hear her saying, "Help me" at some point, and someone talking about pills. And it's very, very sketchy because I've listened to all this stuff. I don't hear anything that is solid at all. Like, definitely some questionable stuff, but I definitely didn't. Sorry, I think I had cat hair on my lip. I don't think there's anything very solid in the clips of them partying. It just looks like they're partying. In fact, at one point, one of the guys mentions a gang, a girl throws up a gang symbol. So that just shows you the type of people that they're hanging out with.
On BD, all of them. Turn that Pappy ringtone off.
So obviously there was drinking involved in this party. There are not toxicology reports released yet. They will be coming soon. And like I said, that's going to bust this thing wide open. That's going to tell us a lot, hopefully. But if we can get an idea of how much Kenneka drank, or if she had done any other drugs, maybe marijuana in combination with it, or had been given any type of date rape drug, we will be able to know all of that once these toxicology reports come back. One thing that you should know before we go any further is that the timeline from this night is like impossible to put together. There are literally multiple timestamps on hotel footage. The hotel front desk has said different times than the police have. CNN is reported differently than the Chicago Tribune has. So I definitely do not know the exact time frame. These are sort of estimates or what I've tried to gather. So yeah, they're in a hotel. There's tons of cameras in hotels, and some of that surveillance has been released. And in one of the clips, which either is around 2:15 or 1:15, I can't seem to get a final answer on any of these times. Kenneka is seen with her friends walking through the lobby area of the hotel. You can see her in it, and she looks fine. She looks completely steady, stable. No one's helping her. This isn't someone who looks like extremely inebriated by any means. And it seems like most places are reporting that this was around 1:15 in the morning. And according to her friends, they realized that she had left her phone and keys up in the room, so they went to go get them. So they left her in the hallway alone. And the first rule of drinking, girls out there, you never leave someone by themselves, ever. You always stay with friends. You need a buddy system. At least one girl should have stayed with her. That was a huge mistake. Kenneka also had a phone call with her sister at 1:30. If she wasn't that fucked up, but she didn't look like she was that bad, and if she was okay to the point where they thought they could just leave her out there, then why didn't she just come with them to get her stuff? I mean, that just doesn't make any sense to me. But then the footage jumps it forward like an hour, and it's either, like I said, it's such a wacky timeline here. Some sources are reporting that this happened around 3:25 a.m. Some have said 2:25 a.m. I don't know. At some point, all of a sudden, Kenneka is seen stumbling out of an elevator, clearly like inebriated, very, very drunk. And maybe she wasn't just drunk. She could have also been drugged, or a combination, like I said. And she is alone at this point. And that area of the hotel was completely vacant, under construction. It was going to be something eventually, but no one was there. It's not a place for guests to just hang out. So it's odd that she just ended up there and no one saw her go down there. But she ends up in this hallway, and clearly she is under the influence of something. I mean, she's stumbling. There's points where she literally almost falls. To me, it looks like she's looking for something. She's looking for possibly a place to go to the bathroom, or maybe she was trying to find an area to smoke. I mean, no one really knows. So in the meantime, her friends could not find her. They started to get panicked, and they left the hotel in her car, which is odd that they vacated the scene, but it's possible that they just didn't want to get caught by their parents for being there. Maybe none of them were supposed to be there. And around 4:30 a.m., they called her mom. Kenneka's mom, and said, "We can't find her. She was at this party with us. We were all drinking. She only had one cup." She told them that.
Her friend called me at 4:34 in the morning and stated to me that she was missing. I mean, they couldn't find her. She had been lost for like 2 hours.
Her mom literally got up and went straight to the hotel around 5 a.m. to search for her herself. And when she went to the hotel, she asked them, she told them what was going on.
Okay, so her friends had called her at 4:34 in the morning, but she also stated that she's been missing for at least 2 hours. So, how did Teresa Martin know that Kenneka was missing for 2 hours if her friends called her at 4:34 in the morning? How did she know? How did she know that Kenneka was missing at 2 hours from 4:34 is what? 2:34. It would have been the time to when they proclaimed that she was getting off the elevator. So how did Teresa Martin know this, peoples? How did she know this? Let me rewind that back, peoples.
Party with us. We were all drinking. She only had 1 cup. She told them that.
Her friend called me at 4:34 in the morning and stated to me that she was missing.
And stated to her that she was missing.
I mean, they couldn't find her.
But she means that they couldn't find her. Well, wait. You first stated that they stated to you that she was missing. But now you turn around and say that, oh, well, I mean, but they said that they couldn't find her. Stated to her that she was missing, but then turn around and say that they couldn't find her. Okay, so let's listen to this, peoples.
She had been lost for like 2 hours.
She has been lost for like 2 hours. She's been lost for like 2 hours. All right, so people, help me to make this make sense. I need somebody to help me to make this make sense. Teresa Martin says that they called her and said that your daughter is missing. 4:34. Then she turns around and says that she's been lost for like 2 hours. Okay, well, first of all, my question is, how does she know? How does she know, peoples? That's what I'm trying to figure out. How does she know? Can't nobody answer the question.
Her mom literally got up and went straight to the hotel around 5 a.m. to search for her herself. And when she went to the hotel, she asked them, she told them what was going on. And they said they cannot start reviewing footage or do anything regarding to finding her or sending out like a memo or anything until they have police in on it, until a missing persons case has been filed. So Kenneka's mom called 911, and this is the 911 call.
911, where's the address of your emergency?
Yes, I'm at the Crown Plaza, and I was calling because my daughter came to a party here last night, a gathering with her friends, and now her friends, they said that they left on the front of the hotel, and she's not able to be found now. She's 19 years old. And they said that when her friends was asking earlier today, like about 4 o'clock in the morning, because they run the video cameras, they said that they didn't have no camera. But now I came and it was a lady. She said that she heard music, and she asked me that I want to go upstairs, and we went upstairs on the 11th floor, and it was someone came to the room, and she said that she did see my daughter there with a group of girls and a couple of guys, but that's all she just saw because she was busy trying to get reception on her phone.
All right, well then, you know what? Are you sure you don't mean the Crown Plaza in Rosemont?
Yes, yes it is. I'm sorry, the Crown Plaza in Rosemont. That's exactly where it's at.
Do you think it's possible maybe she went to one of her friends' houses, or, you know, she's probably...
No, actually, because she had my car. She was driving my car. She know I don't like nobody to drive my car because my insurance will not pay for nobody, no one besides her. And her friends kept calling my phone. I told them to stay out here. They stayed out here, but they called me like about 3-something in the morning. I was laying in bed. I just had breast surgery. I fought breast cancer, so I'm, sedated off medication early. And they telling me she out here. So once I rejuvenated, strengthened up myself enough to get up and drive out here to look for once they brought me my car, I came right out here.
Okay, so she said that they called her at 4:34 in the morning. That's what she said. You heard what she said, right? She said that they called her at 4:34. Now on the 911 call, she said that they called her at 3-something in the morning. So every time you look around, the time is always changing as to when the kids are supposed to have called her, as to when she was supposed to have known that Kenneka was missing. So we got all different times people that Kenneka was missing. So how many different times is Kenneka going to come up missing? See, this is why I can't sit here and believe all of this bullshit and nonsense and stuff, because the times keep changing. Every time you speak to somebody, everybody's got a different time. Peoples, they have a different time. So how could any YouTuber sit up here and say unequivocally and undeniably, oh, they just know for a fact this is the time that shit happened, when you don't know the exact time shit happened because they kept giving you different times? You can sit here and tell the people that you know, but you don't know. It's different times, peoples. It's different times. And as you can see, this is what she said. It ain't what Edward Joseph said. It's what she said. It's different times. So how are you going to get a timeline out of all the different times that they gave you? And you wasn't even there.
And what's really unfortunate is the dispatcher told her that she should wait some time and make sure she's actually missing before filing a missing persons case. Now, I'm about to tell you guys something that you definitely should remember. You do not need to wait any amount of time to file a missing persons report. Sometimes the police can be difficult about it, but if you push them and you go straight to the top, you can get it filed. Absolutely. There's no rules anywhere in any police department that says you have to wait 24 hours, 12 hours, 48 hours, whatever it is. It's just completely made up. It was really unfortunate that they told her that. I'm sure she just assumed that that's, the police aren't very helpful, especially for people of color. So I'm sure she figured, you know what, whatever, and I'm better off just like going and trying to find her myself than dealing with you guys. So they didn't get a missing persons report filed until the next day. And then they started going through the security tapes. And it's so sad because a lot of this could be prevented if they had looked earlier. If like when she showed up there right at 5, if they started looking at surveillance, she could be alive right now. When they started looking at the footage, they obviously saw the clips of her walking with her friends. They saw her walking out of the elevator into that vacant area. But they also saw this, and this has been released, is clips of Kenneka walking into a vacant kitchen. Just to let you guys know, there are so many doctored versions of this online. Do not believe any of them. This footage that I'm putting in is the actual real footage. I've seen fake stuff where there's literally men like dubbed into it. I think there's a lot of people out there trying to get in on the Kenneka Jenkins case, you know, like right when it came out. That's why I didn't talk about this. I wanted to wait at least a week and like kind of figure everything out, really get the facts, because so many people are out there just trying to be sensational and shocking and maybe get some followers out of it. So I've literally seen clips where there's like a man in the kitchen with her, and that's not true. I've seen fake shadows. I did notice that there's reflections of Kenneka walking in the appliances because they're all stainless steel, but
We live in a world full of media streams, social platforms, and devices.
definitely not another person. It shows her stumbling through the kitchen and everything, but it does not show her getting inside of the hotel freezer. This is when they needed to go look in that area, and as soon as they did, they opened the freezer and unfortunately found Kenneka in it. Died of probably hypothermia. They haven't released the autopsy or the condition of her body. We don't know if she looked like she had been bruised or messed with. We don't know if she had clothes on. We don't know anything. But they just found her in there alone. Once the missing persons report was filed, though, the hotel actually started cooperating. They actually told people in the hotel to look out for her. They did a full search of the hotel. And this reminds me a lot of Alyssa Lamb and Amy Bradley, with hotels or cruise ships not wanting to act because they don't want to, they just assume that maybe there's something else going on, and they're very slow in these situations to, you know, act upon them. And in this case is a prime example of why they should have looked immediately. But when her body was found on Sunday morning, her mom was hysterical.
The hotel is so open. So my brother walked past. You know, remind you, we didn't know this was a crime scene at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
After they declared she was dead, when I started asking, can I see my baby body? When I asked the sergeant for his badge number, then he said, I got to talk to the morgue. I said, can I see how my baby laying down there? You know, how she feel, how she died?
Yeah.
And they wouldn't let me see my baby. Told her she was dead at 1 something, but they didn't let me see her body. Until 4 hours later, they did let me see. They refused my mother. They refused my family to see her. They said you.
Okay, so she said that she didn't know it was a crime scene at 4 o'clock in the morning. Then James Coleman had went and chimed out something and said what they knew already. And then she said that they couldn't see her until 4 hours later. Now she's going to go on to this tangent. They refused my mother. They refused my sister. And then they refused me, them goddamn bastards or whatever. Let's listen to this bullshit.
Because they don't want to, they just assume that maybe there's something else going on, and they're very slow in these situations to, you know, act upon them. And in this case is a prime example of why they should have looked immediately. But when her body was found on Sunday morning, her mom was hysterical.
The hotel is so open. So my brother walked past. You know, remind you, we didn't know this was a crime scene at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
After they declared she was dead, when I started asking, can I see my baby body? When I asked the sergeant for his badge number, then he said, I got to talk to the morgue.
Okay, so now that's the key point right there. After they declared that she was dead. So my question is, when did they declare Kenneka Jenkins dead? And then Edward Joseph, let me break in here for a moment, my friend. Let me say something. She said that it was a crime scene at 4 o'clock in the morning. But she said that the kids had called her at 3 something in the morning. And then she changed it to 4:34 in the morning. So how many times are the people going to reach out to her and tell her, get it straight, TM, get it straight, ma'am? You're giving us conflicting stories, Mel. And I don't know if the people have caught that, but I did. I have been examining these videos forever and a day, TM, and you can't pull the wool over my eyes, Mel. You said 4:34. They called you. But then they called you at 3. Well, at that time, the supposed Kenneka Jenkins either just got off the elevator, because the people say that she got off at 2:30. So what was happening between 2:30 and 3 when they supposedly had called you? And then they supposedly had called you at 4:34. And you said that you had breast surgery. But we find you at the establishment getting tugged by the arm by some lady. And that lady was hefty. She's a biggin. That was a big woman. And all of that force being on your arm, that could have ripped your breasts open. And you didn't leave screaming or hollering. You didn't leave going to the hospital again. See, that's how I know you're lying. Because everything is on video, Mel. And millions of people saw that video and they saw you being tugged by the arm and you did not flinch. Anybody who had an operation, especially on the chest, wouldn't be up and walking around like you are. I mean, you said you just had surgery, really? You just had surgery and then all of a sudden you're up walking? I mean, that shit doesn't make no sense. Mariah Lavender said, and when the police, and when do the police let you see the deceased body? Well, she said 4 hours later. I mean, 4 hours later. Really? So Kenneka was supposed to be missing, and then they find her body the very next day at 12:25 a.m. in the morning. Really? I mean, come on, people. You know, and then in her narrative, Mariah, she said that the lady was down there and she was talking, and the lady overheard, and she said that she heard music playing. Okay, so you heard music playing. I mean, what wasn't they playing music on the ninth floor, right? I thought they were playing music on the ninth floor, right? So if they were on the ninth floor, why would Kenneka be up on the 11th floor and they were supposed to be on the ninth floor playing music? So she just happens to see Kenneka on the 11th floor. So if we take for face value what this woman said, she's seen Kenneka on the 11th floor, well then, peoples, what does that tell you? That tell you that the shit that was supposed to have happened couldn't have happened in the manner to which you guys are speaking it, because this lady said that she was a witness to Kenneka being on the 11th floor. And Mariah had said there could have been a lot of people playing music in the room. And I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. It was a weekend. And everybody gets up and go get a room and, you know, they do their groove and stuff. Some people play loud music. Some people play some soft music. Some people don't even play music at all. But obviously they wasn't the only ones playing music, because they said that it was a children's party on the 11th floor. So what? Kenneka went to a children's party on the 11th floor? Really, peoples? So it's just so happened that the lady was out there in the hall with Kenneka a couple of girls and a couple of guys, and she distinctively seen Kenneka. And she told TM she heard music. So you're going to go up to somebody's room just because you heard music. She ain't never said that she seen Kenneka walk out of a room. She ain't never said that Kenneka walked in a room. She said that she saw Kenneka on the 11th floor, and it's just so happened that a room was playing music. And instead of taking security and going and knocking on some foreigner's room and disturbing their peace, they're going to walk up there, knock, 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 knock. This lady said that she heard music. And we come here to investigate. Man, I wish she would have knocked on my door and talking about, I heard you playing music. See, people's even the narrative doesn't even sound right. A lady just happens to be in the hall when she walks in, and the lady says, I heard music. She ain't never said that she seen her daughter walk out of a room or walk in a room. She just said that I seen your daughter with a couple of guys and a couple of girls. So if she's seen her daughter with a couple of guys and a couple of girls, well, then what was the couple of guys and girls doing on the 11th floor? What they were doing? Rub me down in some hot oil, baby. And I'm going to do you like Diddy. So play with my titty. Turn them off. And let's get closer. Girl, I am so much in a romantic mood. So if she had saw Kenneka on the 11th floor with a couple of guys and a couple of girls, well, then the question is, peoples. The question is simply this. What in God's name were they doing on the 11th floor? What were they doing? And what was the lady doing up on the 11th floor? Did she have a room? She ain't never said she got a room up there. And what time was it when this woman was supposed to have seen Kenneka with a couple of guys and a couple of girls? Because if it was late at night, only one thing comes to mind, peoples. You got two guys and you got a couple of girls. Only one thing comes to mind. You know what I'm saying? So if we was to take face value as to what this woman was saying, then Kenneka and these other people, was it Shemaya and was it Monifa or was it Irene or Bree? Who was it? And what were they doing there on the 11th floor? Who was the guys? Because see, the thing is, peoples, that doesn't make no sense. It doesn't fit in the narrative. Nobody has ever admitted going to the 11th floor. Monifa, Shemaya, Bree, or Irene. They never admitted to going to the 11th floor. So again, my question is, does this woman hold any type of weight whatsoever? I mean, think about that, people. I need you to really think about that for one moment. Does this woman have any validity whatsoever? Because, again, she said she saw Kenneka with a couple of guys and a couple of girls. So I wonder who was the guys that walked with Kenneka and the couple of girls. And then if they were up there, where did they go? What room? What were they doing? Why were they up there when the party was on the 9th floor? Did they have to sneak away to get some of that baby? Hey, hey. Get some of that say-say? Did Kenneka sneak away to get some say-say? See, people, this is why I don't believe none of this bullshit these people are saying. I really don't. Because see, you guys are missing it. You guys are literally missing it, because again, so many different time frames and stuff is being spoken. So many different scenarios is being spoken, and you guys are missing it. You're missing it, because see, the thing is, the thing is, everybody's story is different. So if all of these people were innocent as they proclaim, well, then there should be some continuity to the story, right? It shouldn't be no deviations, no changes, no nothing. You should be able to just tell what you know, and period, that's it. But that's not the case. It's not the case, people. Everybody's narrative is different. And why is that? We're going to go in depth, peoples, on tomorrow. We're really going to go in depth with this here, because, man, I tell you, we're really going to go in depth with this, because I'm going to go and show you the case files. I'm going to go and show you what the people had stated in the case files. You've already seen the video of what they said and stuff, so you got their timeline and things. So now the people in the case files gave a narrative. These people have already spoken on video. They gave the narrative. And then you got the video that is giving the narrative. And so when you bring all of these three elements together, is it making any sense? Because it has to make sense, peoples. If it doesn't make no sense, well then, hey, we got a problem. We have a major problem, peoples. It must make some sense. And so if it's not making no sense, well then, peoples, you know, I don't know what is it that you can believe. And then this man is where is he at now? He's got his millions and he's bolted. He ain't hanging around. He was only there to keep TM in check, to make sure that she stayed on script. Everybody got paid. That's the thing that you guys don't understand. Everybody got paid. Why is it that this man will stay with this woman for all of this time and do all of this stuff with her and things, and then the moment that they supposedly have put the girl in the ground, he disappears? He's only good just while they're going through the motions of trying to play what happened to Kenneka. And then no sooner than they find out what happened to Kenneka, now he disappears. He only stayed for the funeral, and that's it. And after the funeral, he packed his bags and he left. The job is done. I'm done. You know, we played this thing off. We got some girl in the ground. Now let me go and take my money and let me run. I need you guys to think about this for one moment. Where's all of these players at? all of these YouTubers and Facebookers and activists and everything. Once they committed this whoever girl in the ground, everybody disappeared. The YouTubers, the Facebookers, the James Comans and the Carl Nesbitts, everybody, what's his name? One who was running the halls of that establishment. Guy who you got the security boy. France Cave. France Cave leaves. And then the service personnel, housekeeping, he leaves. Everybody leaves. Everybody leaves. It's over. And then the YouTubers, after Edward Joseph had gotten down on every last one of those suckers, they left. They left. The YouTubers who were saying that Kenneka was at the Marriott, they left. The YouTubers that get on here and get off Hinge and stuff and talking all of this crazy madness, they left. The YouTuber that was in everybody's chat room and stuff spewing all of this madness, they left. Where are they? They left. But Edward Joseph is still here. And I'm still calling these suckers out for the nefarious bullshit and madness that they've been speaking about this case, because they ain't making no sense whatsoever. See, the thing is, peoples, ain't nobody doing what I'm doing, because I'm dissecting this thing with a fine tooth comb. I got my magnifying glass out. And I'm calling up all this nefarious and hilarious bullshit and madness. And I'm showing you with video footage of what they said. And what they said ain't matching up with the things that they said prior to what they're saying. See, what they said here on the doorsteps, and then at the establishment, and then at the Breakfast Club, and then at Dr. Oz and stuff, you know, it ain't making no sense, because there's a different narrative that is being spoken every time she open up her mouth. Her and Lenore, Monifa, Shemaya, and Irene. Bree is the only black one that never said a word. But Bree sat her tail up there and she cried. Y'all see that? She cried her heart out. She cried her heart out, peoples. Bree was the one who had a cup and she was looking. Look at all that Hennessy in that cup. Y'all see that cup? And look, Bree was the only one who literally broken down at the funeral, because she knew that wasn't Kenneka. She knew it. She knew it. That's why she's looking over at her. That ain't Kenneka. That ain't Kenneka. And she knew she couldn't say nothing, because snitches get stitches. Look at Bree. Still today, Bree hasn't said not one word. Still today. She don't make no posts. She don't do nothing. Bree ain't said a word. She ain't been out there to commemorate Kenneka's passing or whatever because she knows she's guilty as sin. And if anybody knows, Bree knows. Yes, Bree knows. That's why I asked the question. Why do you believe Kenneka Jenkins was drunk? Was she the only one drinking? The only way you can get drunk, people, is if you have a cup. And Bree has a cup. But Bree didn't get drunk. So why did Kenneka supposedly had gotten drunk? Was Kenneka the only one drinking? When did they declare Kenneka Jenkins dead? You people, I need you to chime out. I need you guys to chime out. So they were there September the 9th looking for Kenneka. But according to Teresa Martin, they didn't allow her to see her until after they declared her dead. So my question is, when did they declare Kenneka Jenkins dead? Anybody want to take a stab at it? When did they declare Kenneka Jenkins dead? No, nobody wants to take a stab at it.
I said, "Can I see how my baby laying down? That how she feel, how she died?"
Yeah.
And they wouldn't let me see my baby. Told her she was dead at 1 something, but they didn't let me see her body until 4 hours later. They did let me see. They wouldn't. They refused my mother. They refused my family to see her. They said only you and your daughter can see it, and you can't take pictures because this is a crime scene.
And this is free.
This in a deep freezer, but they had at this time they had let the morgue take her, move her, defrost the freezer.
Right.
Her hair had soaking water up on it.
Yeah.
She was defrosted in the freezer. They defrosted the whole freezer. When they discovered the body, we wasn't even allowed to stand in the hotel lobby. They put us out. We had to stand outside and look. We studied, tried begging for help. The police department couldn't even help us.
Okay, so first they declared her dead. And 4 hours later, then they had to go and defrost the freezer. That's another 5 hours later. So when did they declare Kenneka Jenkins dead? When did they defrost the freezer? I mean, that's a lot of time, peoples. So again, I'm still trying to pack all of this into what she's saying. And I still can't get no help from nobody. You guys are supposed to have been knowing about this case forever and a day. So my question is, when did they defrost the freezer? And when did they declare Kenneka Jenkins dead? Because they had to declare her dead before they found her on the tent, right?
Sunday morning. Her mom was hysterical.
The hotel is so open. So my brother walked past. Remind you, we didn't know this was a crime scene at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
After they declared she was dead, when I started asking, can I see my baby body? When I asked the sergeant for his badge number, then he said, I got to talk to the morgue. I said, can I see how my baby laying down there? How she feel, how she died?
Yeah.
And they wouldn't let me see my baby. Told her she was dead at 1 something, but they didn't let me see her body until 4 hours later. They did let me see. They wouldn't. They refused my mother. They refused my family to see her. They said only you and your daughter can see it, and you can't take pictures because this is a crime scene.
And this is free.
It's in a deep freezer, but they had at this time they had let the morgue take her, move her, defrost the freezer.
Right.
Her hair had soap and water up on there.
Yeah.
She was defrosted in the freezer. They defrost the whole freezer. When they discovered the body, we wasn't even allowed to stand in the hotel lobby. They put us out. We had to stand outside and look. We studied, tried begging for help. The police department couldn't even help us. After they found my baby dead, they couldn't even help us. The bastards! They couldn't even help us.
No, the craziest.
Now, you see at that point in time that James Coleman had grabbed her by the shoulder and pushed in. He was on the phone. Whoever he was on the phone with, they told him, shut her shit down. He grabbed her. I want you guys to see that. I want you guys to see that.
Sunday morning, her mom.
I said, can I see how my baby laying down there? How she feel, how she died?
Yeah.
And they wouldn't
Now
let
look,
me see my baby.
he's
So
got
they-
his hands on her shoulder. Now he's going to get on the phone, and then she's going to go into this.
at 1 something, but
Look
they didn't let me
at
see
his
her
arm.
body.
I mean,
until
look at
4
his
hours
hand.
later. They did let me see. They wouldn't. They refused my
See?
mother. They refused my family to see her.
Now
They
look,
said
he's getting ready to
only
squeeze
you
her.
and your daughter can see it, and you can't take pictures because this is a crime scene.
And this is free.
This in a deep freezer, but they had at this time they had let the morgue take her, move her, defrost the freezer.
Right.
Her hair had soap and water up on there.
Yeah.
She was defrosted in the freezer. They defrost the whole freezer.
Now look at him. He's on the phone now.
When they discovered the body, we wasn't even allowed to stand in the hotel lobby. They put us out. We had to stand outside and look. We studied, tried begging for help. The police department couldn't even help us.
Okay, so first they declared her dead. And 4 hours later, then they had to go and defrost the freezer. That's another 5 hours later. So when did they declare Kenneka Jenkins dead? When did they defrost the freezer? I mean, that's a lot of time, peoples. So again, I'm still trying to pack all of this into what she's saying. And I still can't get no help from nobody. You guys are supposed to have been knowing about this case forever and a day. So my question is, when did they defrost the freezer? And when did they declare Kenneka Jenkins dead? Because they had to declare her dead before they found her on the tent, right?
Sunday morning, her mom was hysterical.
The hotel is so open. So my brother walked past. Remind you, we didn't know this was a crime scene at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
They didn't know it was a crime scene at 4 o'clock in the morning. TM, my question to you is, what happened to your hand? What happened to your hand? because your hand wasn't like that, but something happened to your hand. So what happened to your hand, TM? Did you take part in it, TM? Because we know that you were there at the establishment. See, you got the brace on your hand, TM. What happened to your hand? Was Kenneka fighting so hard that you jammed your hand, TM? You took part in this, huh? Yeah, you took part in the ritual. Because you ain't never explained to us what happened to the hand, TM. There it is right there, peoples. And why did that happen at the time to when Kenneka come up missing? Mariah Lavender had said, if the morgue took her first, why defrost the freezer? If the morgue took her first, it wouldn't be no reason to defrost the freezer, right? It wouldn't be no reason to try to defrost her if the morgue took her. So you brought up a very valid point, Mariah, because one, she couldn't be defrosted because she was never frozen. See what threw everybody off is when the officer said that she was frozen solid. No, she wasn't frozen solid. She was in full rigor mortar. But she wasn't frozen solid. Her body was in there for a couple of days because it was the family statement that told you that her body was in there for a couple of days, because the family statement said that she was missing more than 36 hours. More than. That's the family statement. I didn't say that, peoples. The family said it. And the family statement was Kenneka Jenkins was missing more than 36 hours. Meaning that it was more than 36 hours that she was missing. And they told the truth upon that, peoples. So why would they want to do a family statement and say that Kenneka was missing more than 36 hours if she wasn't missing more than 36 hours? Why would they do that? That shit doesn't make no sense. The family statement said that Kenneka Jenkins was missing more than 36 hours. People, can you count? It said, I didn't say it. They said it. Kenneka Jenkins was missing more than. Meaning it was well beyond 36 hours that she was missing. Peoples. Oh boy, peoples, man. You guys are not listening to me. You guys are not listening to me. See, if you sit here and look at what's happening, you got to ask yourself the question. If this woman was supposed to have breast surgery and just got out of surgery and was supposed to be home recuperating and stuff, why do she have a brace on her hand? Was she a part of something? Because it said that Kenneka, as according to Lenora, said that she was fighting. She was fighting. Her hair was all over her head. She was fighting. So if you're fighting, peoples, and your life is about to be taken, and you feel that you're going to die, what do you think that you're going to do? You're going to fight, right? You're going to kick. You're going to bite. You're going to do everything. So TM,
help me to make this make sense, ma'am. Why do you have that brace on your hand? Was you a part of it, TM? Was you trying to hold her down? You wanted to make sure that it goes through so you can get your millions, huh? That's why you were there. That's why you were part of it, huh, TM? Because any other time you didn't have that brace on your hand. Not only until the time to when Kenneka came a missing did you got a brace on your hand, TM. Why do you have the brace on your hand? Who was you fighting? Because you wasn't fighting Kenneka Martin, you was fighting Kenneka Jenkins. You were there, TM. You were part of it. The evidence is in your face. And you can't even keep the lie straight, TM. You can't keep it straight, ma'am. You cannot keep it straight because you're saying 3, and then you change it to 4, and then you change it to 4:30. And then you're telling them that it was a crime scene. And then, like Mariah said, you said that the morgue had took her and moved her body. Well, help me to make this make sense, TM. Because if the morgue took her and moved her body, you didn't see her in the freezer, but you said that you saw her in the freezer because Lenore said that her hair was all over her head. But when you guys were supposed to have seen Kenneka, if that was Kenneka on the gurney, the hair was pulled back. So how did you know that the hair was all over her head, Lenora? And how did you know it was a little tiny piece of ice in the freezer unless what? You were there. See, you told on yourself, woman. You were there. TM was there when Kenneka Jenkins died. Yep, you were there. Now, what happened to Kenneka Martin? Because she didn't come into play until later on. See, people, how did they know? How did they know? Because TM said on the Dr. Oz show, because I know. And everybody gasped and kept quiet and just looked at her. And she said, oh shit, I'm busted. That was the only time that TM had ever told the truth in this whole Kenneka Jenkins case. When she said, because I know. She ain't never lied when she said that, people. She said, because I know. How did Lenore know that it was a little piece of ice in the freezer? Unless what? She was there. Because remember, it was supposed to have been their first time seeing Kenneka on a gurney, right? Because when did any other time did you ever see them see Kenneka? Because the only time that they were supposed to see Kenneka was on the gurney, right? See, you guys don't listen. I listen. I listen. I listen attentively. And I remember, I got a mind like an elephant. I remember what people say. That's why you got to be careful what you say, because I'm going to remember it and I'm going to call you out to the carpet upon it. She said, and I'm telling you what Lenore said. Lenore said that we haven't seen her body. Remember when she was out there talking to the news people? We haven't seen her. But then in the same sentence, she turns around and says, when there was a little piece of ice and her hair was all over her head and it was look like she was fighting. It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. Yes, it does add up. 1 + 1 = 2. And TM, you and Lenore was there because you got that brace on your arm, ma'am. Did you help Kay Kenneka Jenkins, TM, did you? Tell me. I won't tell nobody. Tell me. The Bible tells us that confession is good for the soul. The Bible teaches us, confess your faults one to another and pray for one another that ye may be healed. The effectual, fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. Tim, I'm a righteous man. And I'm listening. I'm listening, Tim. You can tell me. I won't tell nobody but just the world. That's it. I won't tell nobody but the world. Is that all right, ma'am? So if you tell me, I ain't going to tell nobody. I'm just going to tell the world. See, the world ain't somebody. The world ain't somebody. The world is nobody. I told you I wasn't going to tell nobody, but I'm just going to tell the world. See, if you tell me, I am somebody. But if I tell the world, they are not nobody. But I'm somebody. So you can tell me, Tim, I'm somebody. You said, Lenora, that there was a little tiny piece of ice and her hair was all over her head. It looks like she was fighting. But it doesn't add up. But yes, it does add up because TM got that brace on her hand. So TM, you can't even get your story straight. You can't even get your time straight. Was you there when y'all took out Kenneka Jenkins, ma'am? And is this why you keep giving all of these different narratives? But see, the Lord compelled you to tell the truth. Because Nancy Grace had asked you. And your response was, because I know. Yeah, you know. Because you've been there. Just like Mariah had said. You've been there, TM. You've been there. Yeah, there's the brace right there, man. And then look at James Comey. He has his hands on your shoulder and he gets on the phone. And when he gets on that phone to him, then that's when you go in for the kill. Them bastards. I want you guys to keep your eye up on James Coleman's hand as he has his hand on her shoulder. Peoples. Watch his movements.
After they declared she was dead, when I started asking, can I see my baby body? When I asked the sergeant for his badge number, then he said, I got to talk to the morgue. I said, can I see how my baby laying down there? You know, how she feel, how she died? Yeah. And they wouldn't let me see my baby. Told her she was dead at 1 something. But they didn't let me see her body until 4 hours later.
Wait, okay. So they didn't let her see her body until about 4 something. So it was at 1 something. But then 4 something hours later. So by that time, the little piece of ice would have melted. It wouldn't have been no ice in there. Because ain't no ice is going to survive those 4 hours, people. So you put an ice cube out just in a room temperature room, the ice cube is going to melt within the 4-hour period. So how in the hell did Mariah, how in the hell did Lenora go ahead and see the ice cube and they didn't let them see the body until 4 hours later? You put a piece of ice out in a room at room temperature, the ice is going to melt within the 4-hour period. But Lenore said that it was a little tiny piece of ice in there and her hair was all over her head. But TM just told you that they didn't let them see the body. Say, did not catch her, Mariah? Did not catch her? Because see, she said they didn't let them see the body, but yet Lenore had gave a different story and said that it was a little tiny piece of ice in the freezer and her hair was all over her head, and it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. No, it adds up. Lenore just don't know how to count. She doesn't know addition. And she didn't know that she was making admission. See, addition and admission goes together, peoples, because it always add up to something nefarious. Addition and admission. See, addition, admission. It's saying add, right? Boy, look at here. Her addition was an admission, and it adds up perfectly. Adds up perfectly. Because when you tell a lie, you got to tell another lie to cover up the lie that you told beforehand. And before you know it, you're lying. And I'm not buying. Boy, Mariah, I don't know what to say, Mel. They're lying. They're lying out their teeth. They were there. Because it wouldn't have been no way for Lenore to know that it was a piece of ice in there and her hair was all over her head. That's why TM didn't want Lenore to say nothing at the Breakfast Club. She was looking at her, and she didn't want her to say nothing on the Dr. Oz show. Because, see, Lenore was just too brutally honest. But every time Lenore opened up her mouth, Lenore was putting her foot in her mouth because Lenore was telling the truth. Even though Lenore tried to lie, all of those lies was truth. Because they were there. Lenore got so caught up in the narrative that she even told on herself. She had literally told on herself, peoples. Because she talked about the ice cube and she talked about the hair, but TM said that they didn't never allow them to see the body. Interesting. How could they not allow you to see the body, but then on the parking lot of the Crown Plaza, Lenore is over there just telling it like, oh, yes. Her hair was all over her head and was a little tiny piece of ice. It didn't add up. Bitch, you were there. You were in there. You know, you were a part of it. I caught you red-handed, suckers. And then TM is bearing the proof to the truth right there. There's her hand right there, peoples, as you can see it. There's the hand right there. No question about it, peoples. They were there. I don't care what nobody say. You guys can be as stupid as you want to be, but they were there. TM and Lenore. They were there. Look at that hand of James Coleman on TM's shoulder. I want you guys to look at this real quick.
They did. Let me see. They wouldn't. They refused my mother. They refused my family to see her.
Wait a minute. She just said that they didn't let her see her, and then she turned around and said they did let me see her. Did you hear what she said? First, she said that they did let her see her, and then she turned around and said they did let me see her. And then they refused my mother. They refused my sister. They refused me. I mean, peoples, how many times are they going to be refusing? First, they didn't let you see her, but then they turn around and they did let you see her. But then they refuse your mama and everybody, but they let you see her, right? Right? Listen. People, so all you got to do is listen, because she's stumbling over her words. Let me rewind this back a little bit. Listen.
Only you and your daughter can see it, and you can't take pictures because this is a crime scene.
And this is free.
This in a deep freezer, but they had at this time they had let the morgue take her, move her, defrost the freezer.
Right.
They let the morgue take her, move her, and undefrost the freezer, but yet they still didn't see her at the time to when the morgue took her, defrost the freezer, and moved her. She just told you they didn't let them see her, but the morgue had taken her, moved her, defrost the freezer, and they didn't see her for about 4 hours later. But yet a little tiny piece of ice supposedly had survived, but yet they didn't let her see her. The ice was supposed to have survived in the freezer, peoples, but yet they didn't let her let her see her. The morgue had supposed to have moved her body and defrosted the freezer, but yet they didn't let her see her until 4 hours later. People, ain't no ice is going to survive no 4 hours later. And if they didn't let her see her, how did Lenore know that it was a piece of ice in the freezer? And how did Lenore know that her hair was all over her head if they didn't let them see her? So you're not getting it, peoples. You're not getting it. She just explained to you right now that they did not let them see her, but yet the morgue had moved her body, defrost the freezer, where no, and it was, and little Bo Peep, look at this, little Bo Peep. It was 5 hours later. How could a piece of ice survive for 5 hours later? I just showed you the ice that was under Kenneka's toe that was frozen, and then it turned into a puddle of water. It turned into a puddle of water. But yet the body was still in there at the time to when that little piece of ice was under Kenneka's toe and turned into a puddle of water. But yet they didn't let them see her. Because they knew. They've been there in Little Bo Peep. They've been there. TM was there. Lenore was there. It's no way in God's creation could Lenore would have ever known unless she was there. She was there. Little Bo Peep said, mostly how she could have seen her expression. Exactly. How would she have known the facial expression of the face if the hair was all over her face? How would she have known that she was in a fight if the hair was all over their face? And remember what TM said. TM said that she had a disgusted look on her face. Well, how in the hell did you know that she had a disgusted look on her face if you wasn't there? There is no way, peoples, that she could have known that Kenneka Jenkins had a disgusted look on her face if she wasn't there. How could she have known? And they said that she said it. I didn't. She said it was 5 hours later. The ice cube would have melted. How could she know that she had a disgusted look on her face if the hair was all over her face? You wouldn't have never known no look on nobody's face if the hair is all over the face. And even if that was Kenneka on the gurney, what, did she still have a disgusted look on her face? Really, peoples? See, you guys ain't even listening to me. You guys are not listening to me because, see, I have literally just broke this shit down, even where a child can understand. There is no way that TM and Lenore could have known all of these intimate, juicy details if they wasn't there. There's no possible way. No possible way, peoples, that they could have known. TM could not have known that Kenneka had a disgusted look on her face. Lenore could not have known that Kenneka was ever in a fight or was fighting for her life. Lenore would have never have known that Kenneka's hair was all over her face. But by her hair being all over her face, how in the hell did TM know that Kenneka had a disgusted look on her face if they never allowed them to see her? Peoples, they were there. Clear as daylight, they were there. It ain't no question about that, peoples. They told on themselves. They were there. Look at James Coleman's hand, peoples. Look at James Coleman's hand.
Her hair had soap and water up on it. Yeah. She was defrosted in the freezer. They defrosted the whole freezer.
Her hair had soap and water in there. She was in the freezer. They defrosted the freezer. Tim, how did you know all of this? How did you know that they defrosted the freezer? Did they tell you that they defrosted the freezer? Or was you back there when they were defrosting the freezer? Is that why you made the family statement that Kenneka was missing more than 36 hours? People, that's the bingo moment right there. That is the bingo moment right there. This woman is confessing and she can't even get her shit straight. She can't even get her shit straight. She's describing what was in the freezer, but yet they didn't let them see her, but they're describing everything in the freezer. Well, Peep said the family lawyer told us her family was called and told she was missing. But see, that's the key right there. The lawyer said that they called and told the family she was missing. But the kids were supposed to have called her and told her that she was missing. But how did they know all of these intricate details if they wasn't there? Because remember what TM just said. They didn't let us see her. And then Mariah said, where in God's name did the soap come from? How did TM know that there was soap in her hair? Unless Bingo. Bingo to the bingo, peoples. Bingo to the bingo. It was no way in God's creation could TM know that there was soap in Kenneka's hair unless no possible way. No possible way whatsoever, peoples. None whatsoever. They wouldn't have ever known these intricate details unless they were there. Lobo Peep said, which means someone already reported, but allegedly TM called at 2:30. And see, this is the crazy part about this. If TM called at 2:30, why is she turning around telling us that the kids called there at 3, then at 4, and then at 4:34? You guys missed it. Why did TM turn around and tell us that the kids called her at 3, at 4, and then 4:34? Because just like what she said up on Dr. Oz, when Nancy Grace had asked her, how could you keep your composure and things and not be rattled or shaking and stuff? And her response was, because I know. And that was the most truthful statement that TM has ever made in this Kenneka Jenkins case. Because I know. Peoples, I gotta go. My blood pressure, I feel my blood pressure rising. I feel it rising. I gotta lay down. I have literally just stumbled upon this, and it's pissing me off greatly. She knew. She knew, peoples. She knew. And this shit has been in our face forever and a day. And this heifer sat up here and played the grieving mother. And that's why she never cried. Not one tear for Kenneka Jenkins. She knew. All right, peoples. I'm going to stop right here. We're going to pick up with part 2 tomorrow. I got to lay down because my blood pressure is rising. I'm getting so angry right about now. And I better stop while I'm ahead before I break my monitor, because I feel like just throwing something right at this monitor right now. I don't even want to look at this woman. And then look at this girl sitting up here. She cried the loudest and she cried the hardest. Burberry, what did you know? Well, was you out there plotting and planning with TM? Because Kenneka was already gone. So you guys was plotting and planning to take out Kenneka Martin? Jenkins was already gone days before, peoples, because that's why the family made the statement. She was missing more than, meaning way over 36 hours. That's the family statement. That's what they said. They already knew. They knew, peoples. And this shit has been in our face forever and a day. And we're sitting around here blaming all of these kids, and it was TM and Lenora all of this time. All right, people. So I'm going to be back tomorrow. If the Lord says the same, we're going to do a deep dive in this. I just stumbled upon something that I didn't even really pay too much attention to. I know I talked about this once beforehand, but it's really hitting home and hitting hard right now. Literally. Literally. Peoples. I hope I had said something to encourage your hearts upon tonight. Tune in again next time to Edward Joseph Let's Talk Live. Edward Joseph Kitchen. Edward Joseph Gospel Hour. Edward Joseph's Blessings Giveaway 2025 will come to you with something wonderful. I love you with the love of Christ, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Peoples, mask up and be safe. And again, peoples, I will be back tomorrow. We're going to go in deeper, harder, and heavier. Because I just truly believe right now, people, there it is right there. And it's been in our face all of this time, and we didn't see it. But now we see it. Because I know that is what TM said upon the Dr. Oz show. Peoples, you guys be blessed and get your rest. And the Lord says the same. I will see you guys on tomorrow. God bless you all. Thank you for watching.